Needing nothing attracts everything. What happens when we let go of the need to chase? When we simply release our grasp on what we think we need. Imagine the traveler, no longer driven by desperation, but now resting in the present moment. The relentless sun still beats down, but now there's a sense of acceptance, a recognition that the chase for the oasis has only led to further exhaustion. In this moment of stillness, something shifts. The traveler begins to notice the subtle beauty of the desert, the intricate patterns in the sand, the vastness of the sky. A gentle breeze whispers across their skin, offering a moment of coolness. And then, perhaps, they discover something they hadn't noticed before. A small well, hidden in the shade of the dune, providing water and relief. This well was there all along, but the traveler's relentless pursuit blinded them to its presence. It's a powerful metaphor for life. Often, what we seek is already available to us, but our cravings and desires create a veil that prevents us from seeing it. When we stop chasing, we open ourselves to receive. In the stillness, clarity arises. We begin to see the opportunities, the gifts, the abundance that surrounds us. It's not about giving up on our dreams or desires, but about releasing the attachment to them. It's about trusting that the universe will provide what we need in its own time and its own way. It's about finding peace in the present moment, knowing that true fulfillment comes not from chasing after something external, but from cultivating a sense of inner contentment. As the weary traveler found stillness, a profound shift occurred. The oppressive thirst began to recede, replaced by the gentle sensation of the desert breeze on their skin. The frantic internal noise quieted, revealing a deep and encompassing silence that had been previously masked by their desperate search. Within this newfound stillness, an extraordinary event unfolded. The longed-for oasis, once a shimmering illusion in the distance, now materialized before them. It was as if this place of respite had always been present, patiently awaiting the traveler's moment of surrender and awareness. Water seemed to flow towards them, a gentle offering drawn forth by the very act of letting go. In that instant, the traveler grasped a fundamental truth. It was not the relentless pursuit that had brought them sustenance, but the relinquishing of the desperate need itself. The struggle, the constant chase, the overwhelming desire, all had been unnecessary burdens. Through the act of releasing their grip, of surrendering to the present moment, the oasis appeared effortlessly, as if it had been there all along, simply waiting for the frantic running to cease. The esteemed Sufi mystic Rumi beautifully encapsulates this wisdom when he writes, "When I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety." He continues, "If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me and without any pain." These words serve as a potent reminder that it is in cultivating patience, in embracing stillness, that the world begins to reveal its offerings. The traveler embodied this truth by needing nothing, thereby allowing everything to come to them. In their quietude, in their act of release, they discovered the very thing they had so desperately sought. Having witnessed the traveler's transformative experience, it becomes crucial to understand the underlying power of surrender and detachment. Throughout history, profound spiritual teachings have consistently emphasized the importance of releasing attachments as a path to inner peace and abundance. But what does true surrender entail? And why does non-attachment hold such a central place in spiritual understanding? At its core, surrender is not a passive act of resignation or defeat. Rather, it is an active choice to release our yearning for control, to let go of the compulsion to manipulate and force specific outcomes. When we cling tightly to what we believe we need, we become like clenched fists, incapable of receiving anything new. However, when we open our hands, we create a receptive space for life's natural flow to move through us unimpeded. We release the rigid notion that things must unfold in a particular way and instead invite the universe to provide what we truly require. Reflect on moments in your own life when you have resisted the natural course of events. Perhaps you have stubbornly tried to salvage a failing relationship or relentlessly pushed towards a goal, convinced that sheer effort would eventually yield the desired result. In those instances, you were likely pursuing something that was not meant to be. The very act of struggling became an obstacle, to your progress. Yet, when you finally let go, when you surrender to the natural flow of life, did you not observe how much smoother things became? This embodies the wisdom of non-attachment. In Buddhist philosophy, it is stated that attachment is the fundamental root of suffering. When we become attached to specific outcomes, to individuals, or to material possessions, we cultivate a sense of inner lack. We feel incomplete, as if some essential element is missing. This feeling of deficiency then drives us into an endless pursuit of external fulfillment. However, the fundamental truth is that our inherent nature is one of wholeness. The moment we release our attachment to the external world as the sole source of happiness, we discover that inner peace is an ever-present possibility. This resonates with the idea that the oasis was always present for the traveler, awaiting the moment of stillness. In the Taoist tradition, Lao Tzu articulated this principle in his teachings, stating, "If you want to become full, let yourself be empty. If you want to be given everything, give everything up." This highlights a profound paradox. When we are consumed by our own desires and overflowing with attachments, there is no space for anything new to enter our lives. Conversely, when we empty ourselves of these desires, when we cease our relentless grasping, we create a vast openness that allows the universe to fill us. And the gifts it bestows are often not merely what we think we need, but something far greater than our limited imagination could conceive. This concept reverberates across numerous spiritual paths. In the Christian mystical tradition, the 14th century theologian Meister Eckhart expressed a similar sentiment. To be full of things is to be empty of God. To be empty of things is to be full of God. These words suggest that by relinquishing our attachment to material longings and the need for external validation, we open ourselves to a deeper connection with the divine, regardless of whether one identifies this as God, the universe, or the source. This connection is what truly nourishes us at a soul level. Peace is not found in the accumulation of possessions, but in the surrender of our need to own or control. To visualize this, imagine standing before an expansive open field, devoid of fences or barriers, stretching out endlessly. In this boundless space, you are free to move, to explore, to simply be, unburdened by the constraints of desire or expectation. Within this vastness, you experience both freedom and a sense of fullness, not through having more, but through releasing the weight of wanting. In this state, life begins to meet you where you are, providing what you need without struggle or forced effort. Just as the traveler discovered the oasis upon letting go, we too can find our path to abundance when we cease our frantic pursuit. This occurs when we stop reaching for what is not truly aligned with our path and instead surrender to the natural flow of life. As we delve into the wisdom of surrender and non-attachment, we begin to recognize that this profound truth transcends individual cultures and traditions. The principle of needing nothing and, in turn, receiving everything is a universal thread woven through the teachings of countless great mystics and spiritual philosophers throughout history. Lao Tzu's words from the Tao Te Ching serve as a powerful reminder. If you want to be given everything, give everything up. This embodies the path of detachment, of emptying oneself to receive the fullness of life. The beauty of this teaching lies in its practicality. It is not merely a theoretical concept, but a lived experience. In Taoism, this principle is known as Wu Wei, or effortless action. It is not about striving or forcing outcomes, but rather about allowing the universe to work through us, about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life instead of resisting it. When we cease the need to control every outcome and stop forcing things to happen, we enter a state of grace where life unfolds organically. Lao Tzu teaches that by surrendering to this natural flow, we don't need to aggressively pursue abundance. It will come to us effortlessly, much like the oasis appeared to the traveler only when they ceased their desperate chase. In the Sufi tradition, this wisdom finds resonance in the words of the poet Rumi, who speaks of the delicate dance between longing and surrender. He writes, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." Here, Rumi points to the subtle truth that our deepest desires, when they are aligned with our authentic selves, are not something we need to frantically pursue. Instead, they are integral to the greater current of life, gently guiding us toward the path we are meant to traverse. When we release our tight grip on what we believe we require, we open ourselves to the possibility that life is orchestrating our journey precisely as it should be, and that what is truly meant for us will arrive organically. The mystics across various traditions have long understood this fundamental truth. In Christian mysticism, Meister Eckhart emphasized the necessity of self-emptying to receive the divine. He wrote, "The more we have of the world, the less we have of God. And the less we have of the world, the more we have of God." This is a profound invitation to release our attachments to external things, be it material possessions, relationships, or the relentless pursuit of more, in the hope of filling an inner void with something greater and more enduring. This emptiness is not a state of lack. Rather, it is a sacred space that allows the divine to enter, for the universe to flow freely within and through us. Even in the core teachings of the Buddha, we find the same essential wisdom. The Buddha identified attachment as the root cause of suffering, understanding that our clinging to things, to people, and even to our preconceived notions of how life should unfold is what binds us to pain. When we release these attachments, we are no longer subject to suffering because we no longer grasp at what is inherently impermanent. We become free to simply be present, to move with the current of life without resistance. These teachings, though originating from diverse traditions, all converge on the same central truth. By letting go, by needing nothing, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life and the abundance that is perpetually available to us. The more we release, the more we are capable of receiving, and not just material possessions, but the deeper, more enduring gifts of inner peace, wisdom, and love. It is in our willingness to empty ourselves that we create the necessary space for life to fill us with everything we truly need. As you contemplate these teachings, consider these questions. What am I currently holding on to that no longer serves me? What am I clinging to in my life that might be preventing me from recognizing and receiving the abundance that is already within my reach? Grant yourself the freedom to release these attachments, to create open spaces in your life where the universe can step in and fill you with your true needs. Having explored the wisdom of surrender and non-attachment, let us now delve into a profound concept: the void. Initially, this might seem like an abstract or even unsettling notion. We often perceive the void as something empty, a place of sheer nothingness. However, within spiritual teachings, the void is not something to be feared. It is, in fact, the very crucible of creation, the fundamental space from which all things emerge. It is the sacred emptiness that holds infinite potentiality. And it is within this emptiness, in this profound stillness, that all of life is born. Across many mystical traditions, the void is revered as a sacred space, a realm of pure potential where the very seeds of creation are sown. In Taoism, this is referred to as the eternal Tao, the underlying force that permeates and flows through every aspect of existence. Lao Tzu writes, "The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities." Here, Lao Tzu reminds us that the void is not a state of lack or deficiency, but rather an inexhaustible source of boundless potential. It is the origin point where everything begins and where everything is in a constant state of renewal. When we allow ourselves to enter this space of emptiness, we align ourselves with the natural rhythm of the universe. It is only when we cease our attempts to micromanage every facet of our lives, when we release our need to fill every moment with relentless activity, that we create the necessary space for the universe to step in and guide us. The void is the fertile ground where true creativity flourishes, where inspiration, opportunities, and profound insights arise effortlessly. It is the ultimate place of surrender, where we can trust life to unfold naturally and gracefully. The Sufi mystic Rumi frequently spoke of the profound power of emptiness, of the sacred void that holds within it all possibilities. In one of his most cherished poems, he offers the comforting words, "Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in new form." Rumi reminds us that the void is not a cause for sorrow, but rather a realm of transformation. What we release or let go of in one moment is not lost eternally. It is simply creating the necessary space for something new to emerge. The void is the very arena where this transformation takes place, a space of perpetual renewal and constant creation. The concept of the void has also been explored within Western philosophy. In ancient Greek philosophy, Heraclitus, a prominent thinker, taught that everything exists in a state of perpetual flux, that the world is in constant change and motion. This continuous change occurs within the space of the void, the realm where the old makes way for the new. When we release our attachments to the past and to our rigid expectations of how things should be, we cultivate the necessary conditions for something new and unexpected to arise. This is the inherent power of the void. It is the eternal source of creation, the space where we can shed the old and embrace the new with open arms. In the Christian mystical tradition, the concept of emptiness is often intricately linked to the ideas of spiritual surrender and humility. Meister Eckhart, a significant 14th century theologian, emphasized the necessity of emptying oneself to be receptive to the fullness of God. He likened the soul to a mirror, stating that it can only reflect the divine light when it is free from the obscuring fog of desire. This fog of desire is what prevents us from perceiving the truth and from experiencing the divine flow of life. When we empty ourselves, when we release our attachments to worldly concerns, we create the space for the illuminating light of the divine to enter. The void, in this context, becomes the vessel that can hold the divine, the very space where profound creation and transformation can occur. Furthermore, in the teachings of the Buddha, the void is often referred to as sunyata, an emptiness that is not a void of nothingness, but rather a space brimming with the potential for all things. This emptiness is not a lack, but a dynamic space teeming with possibility, where the true nature of existence can be realized and understood. The Buddha taught that by perceiving the world as devoid of a fixed, unchanging essence, we become free to experience reality as it truly is, fluid, impermanent, and ever-changing. Within this emptiness, we discover true liberation. We find the expansive space to create, to transform, and to awaken to our true nature. As we contemplate these profound teachings, let us remember that the void is not a desolate place of lack, but a realm of infinite potential. It is within the void that we discover everything we truly need. It is the essential space that allows for growth, for change, and for the blossoming of new beginnings. Just as the traveler in the desert found the life-giving oasis only when they relinquished their desperate desire, we too find the abundance of life when we allow ourselves to enter the void, the sacred space where all things can emerge and flourish. Having now explored the transformative power of the void, the fundamental space from which all things arise, let us direct our attention to the subsequent step in this unfolding journey: how we navigate the world once we have cultivated that receptive space within ourselves. What transpires when we cease our relentless forcing and striving, and instead simply move with the natural current of life as it unfolds? This embodies the essence of effortless action, a profound concept that has been explored in numerous spiritual traditions. In Taoism, this is known as Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. However, non-action does not imply a complete absence of activity. Rather, it refers to action that arises from a place of deep alignment, of flowing harmoniously with the natural rhythms of life. It stands in direct contrast to actions driven by force or struggle. Effortless action is characterized by spontaneity and grace, arising without the need for forceful control. When we speak of this, we are not advocating passivity or inaction. Instead, we refer to the ability to act with elegance and respond to life as it unfolds, without attempting to impose our will upon the world. It is about cultivating a deep trust in the natural flow of life and allowing ourselves to be guided by it. In this state of alignment, Our actions stem not from fear or desperation, but from a profound sense of trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Lao Tzu eloquently captures this concept in the Tao Te Ching, stating that the Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. This encapsulates the profound wisdom of Wu Wei. The Tao, the very flow of the universe, does not force or manipulate. It simply flows. And within that effortless flowing, everything is accomplished. When we align ourselves with this natural current, we too become instruments of effortless action. We no longer feel the need to force outcomes because we are in harmony with the universe, moving in the same direction as the river of life. Rumi, too, understood this fundamental truth. He wisely wrote, "Don't move the way that fear makes you move. Move the way love makes you move." In these poignant words, Rumi directs us toward the powerful energy of trust. Fear is the driving force behind our tendency to grasp, struggle, and resist the natural flow. Love, on the other hand, empowers us to surrender, to trust the unfolding process, and to move in harmonious accord with life. When we place our trust in the flow of life, when our actions originate from a place of love rather than fear, everything tends to fall into its rightful place with remarkable ease. This is not to suggest that challenges will cease to arise, nor that we will never encounter difficulties or obstacles. Rather, it signifies that when we are in a state of alignment, when we are moving with the current of life instead of fighting against it, we can meet these challenges with grace and resilience. We approach each moment with a sense of calmness and clarity, secure in the knowledge that we are not alone and that the universe is supporting us at every step. This is the inherent magic of surrender. It is not about avoiding life's inevitable difficulties, but about facing them with a deep sense of trust, knowing that everything is ultimately working for our highest good. In the Christian mystical tradition, Meister Eckhart speaks to this profound trust when he advises, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." These words echo the profound idea that when we follow what resonates as true within our hearts, when we trust in the natural unfolding of life's journey, we are invariably guided to where we need to be. We may not always comprehend the reasons behind the events that transpire, but we can trust that the universe is consistently working in our favor, even when it is not immediately apparent. When we release our ingrained need to control every outcome and instead allow ourselves to flow with the natural current of life, we often discover that the very doors we need to swing open effortlessly. Opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere. Meaningful synchronicities unfold, and we begin to navigate the world with a newfound sense of ease and grace. We become like a river gracefully flowing around obstacles, naturally finding the path of least resistance and ultimately reaching the vast ocean of our own fulfillment. As we approach the culmination of this exploration, it is crucial to pause and reflect upon the profound wisdom we have uncovered. We now transition from intellectual understanding to practical integration. How can we effectively apply these transformative teachings in our own lives? What does it truly mean to embrace the seemingly paradoxical concept of needing nothing? How can we genuinely allow ourselves to flow with the current of life, trusting that everything we truly need will come to us when we release our tight grip of attachment? I now invite you to settle into a comfortable and relaxed position. If you feel so inclined, gently close your eyes and bring your full awareness inward. In this quiet and contemplative space, I encourage you to reflect deeply on the following questions. Allow them to resonate within the depths of your heart and mind. We begin with the first. What is it that I am holding on to right now? Take a moment to consider the things, both tangible and intangible, that you may be clinging to. Consider the desires, the expectations, the specific outcomes that have held your attention, perhaps even consumed your thoughts and energy. Perhaps there is a deep longing for something, a person, a dream, a possession, or a sense of control that occupies a significant space within your heart. Whatever it may be, simply observe it without judgment, acknowledging it as a part of your current experience. Now, gently pose the question to yourself. What would happen if I were to release this? Visualize yourself softly letting go of whatever it is you're holding on to. Picture it as something light, perhaps a leaf carried by the wind, gently floating away. What sensations arise as you imagine this release? Can you perceive a deepening sense of inner peace, a feeling of relaxation spreading through your body and mind as you unburden yourself from the weight of wanting? Take a few slow, deep breaths here, allowing yourself to fully experience the relief that accompanies the act of letting go of attachment. Notice how, in this very moment of surrender, you are creating a spaciousness within yourself, a space that can now be filled with peace, with love, with creativity, and with abundance. Now, let us move to the next point of reflection. What am I truly ready to receive? In releasing our attachments, we inherently create room for something new to enter our lives. When we empty our cup, it becomes receptive to being filled anew. Ask yourself honestly, what am I now inviting into my life? What is it that I genuinely need at this time? Whether it is inner peace, loving connection, mental clarity, gentle guidance, or even physical nourishment, allow yourself to visualize these desired things. What sensations arise as you open your heart to receive them? In this present moment, recognize and understand that the universe is perpetually offering us precisely what we need. When we are open and receptive, when we cease our frantic chasing and allow ourselves to simply be still, the abundant flow of life moves freely into our open hands. Trust deeply that what is truly meant for you will inevitably find its way to you. Allow this knowing to become your unwavering truth. Finally, let us contemplate the most crucial question. How can I move forward in my life with a greater sense of trust in its natural flow? Take a quiet moment to reflect on how you can begin to cultivate a deeper trust in the unfolding of your unique journey. Perhaps there are specific areas where you have been trying to exert excessive control over the outcome, areas where you have been pushing and striving with unnecessary force. Ask yourself honestly, how can I navigate these areas with more ease, with greater acceptance, allowing life to gently guide me rather than constantly resisting its natural course? Feel the deep resonance of trust that you are precisely where you need to be in this moment. In this stillness, in this quiet reflection, know with certainty that you are in harmonious alignment with the universe's natural flow. The path that lies before you is clear, not because you have forcefully shaped it, but because you have gracefully surrendered to its unfolding. Take a deep, nourishing breath now. As you inhale, allow a profound sense of peace to permeate your entire being. As you exhale, gently release any lingering tension or worry. You are inherently enough, just as you are in this very moment. You possess everything you truly need right now. Allow this profound truth to settle deeply within the core of your being. When you feel ready, gently guide your awareness back to the present moment. Feel the solid ground beneath you, the gentle air surrounding you, and know with certainty that the world is unfolding perfectly, exactly as it should. As we draw our time together to a close, let us return to the central message that has guided our exploration. By needing nothing, we truly attract everything. This is not a logical contradiction, but a profound truth woven into the very fabric of the universe. When we cease our relentless seeking, when we release the endless striving and our rigid attachment to specific external outcomes, we open ourselves to the infinite abundance that the universe is always ready and willing to bestow upon us. It is in a simple yet powerful act of letting go, of surrendering to the natural flow, that we create the necessary space for life to fill us with everything we truly need. What we deeply desire, what we truly long for, is not something external and separate from us. It is something that naturally flows towards us when we align ourselves with the harmonious flow of the universe. You may now wonder, how do we begin to embody this profound truth in our everyday lives? The answer is deceptively simple: through presence, through unwavering trust, and through wholehearted acceptance. By consciously choosing to remain present in each unfolding moment. By placing our unwavering trust in the natural unfolding of life's processes, and by wholeheartedly accepting each moment exactly as it is, without resistance, We enable ourselves to move through life with a sense of effortless grace. This is not a call to passivity, but rather an invitation to actively participate in the universe's grand unfolding. It is not about abstaining from action altogether, but about acting from a deep wellspring of inner peace, from a state of inherent wholeness, and from a place of profound alignment with the present reality. Recall the timeless wisdom of Lao Tzu, who taught us that the Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. This encapsulates the essence of effortless action. When we release our tight grip on desired outcomes and simply act from a place of deep trust, we allow life itself to guide our steps. The universe moves through us, and our actions become seamlessly aligned with the natural flow of existence. It is within the quiet moments of stillness that we often discover the very answers we have been seeking. When we relinquish the persistent need to control every aspect of our lives, we come to the profound realization that we are not lost or adrift, but precisely where we need to be in this moment. Within the seemingly empty void, we find the potential for everything. And when we finally cease our relentless chasing, we often realize that life has been gently bringing us exactly what we need all along, often in ways we could not have anticipated. Therefore, as you move forward from the space of reflection, carry with you the deep understanding that you are inherently whole, you are inherently enough, and you already possess everything you truly need within yourself. The universe is not something external and separate from you. It resides within your very being. By consciously letting go of the ingrained need to control, to force outcomes, and to relentlessly chase after external validation, you align yourself with a natural, harmonious flow of life and create the space for all that you truly desire to come to you effortlessly. In this profound act of surrender, you will discover a deep and abiding peace, a sense of true fulfillment, and an overflowing abundance in all aspects of your life. Take one final, deep, and nourishing breath now, and allow this profound truth to settle deeply into the very core of your being. By needing nothing, you truly attract everything. Thank you for embarking on this transformative journey with me. May you walk forward in unwavering trust, in graceful surrender, and in complete alignment with the natural flow of life. As you embrace the wisdom of needing nothing to attract everything, consider how sharing this message can ripple outwards, creating a collective space of trust and effortless flow. If this exploration resonated with you, please help our channel grow and spread this understanding by liking this video, subscribing for more insights, and turning on notifications so you don't miss future reflections. And to guide our next exploration into living with greater ease and trust, please drop a comment below with your thoughts or questions. Thank you for joining us.